So this is me filling you in on things. There's that. I know it's a hot take, isn't it? It's a controversial take. Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If you are new here, it is my dream to be an entertainer. So if you are at all entertained by this video, please like it and consider subscribing for more content. So I am trying this, you guys. If you've been with me, you know that I want to be an entertainer and I want to put out content, but then I just overthink. I could make a video about overthinking, but I don't think anyone would want to watch that. Of like, what should I do, right? So long and short of it, because you know I can be very, very long-winded, I decided to do a commentary type of a thing. So it's a little bit different, okay? So I did try the TikTok, like watching a thingy and like reacting to it kind of commentary. Fun. I think I do sometimes have opinions. I think I have more opinions when I'm sitting on the couch eating dinner and I'm watching something and I'm like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And like, that's hilarious. But then when I sit in front of a camera and I'm like, yeah, I'm not a comedian. I can do improv when I'm in a character. But when it's me, it's like, I'm not interesting. So can't really do that. And it also got flagged and like, it's just stupid, because the content belongs to other people. And so I don't like, borrowing other people's content. I know nothing against those who do it because I watch those videos. I watch those videos hands down because that's sometimes I watch TikTok because I watch YouTube compilations of TikTok. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. But so I like that content. But as a creator myself, I want to be able to kind of stand on my own, if that makes sense. I want to be a personality, so I should be able to personalize. Yeah, this is a wig, but as you can see in this pre-recorded clip, I do actually have purple hair. I just need something to always look amazing because I am an infant toddler and I don't like things on my head, so I can't keep bangs very regularly. I do need to trim this one. I just got it. It's also super shiny, so I should probably wash it with some shampoo to make it look a little more natural, although I kind of like the shine. I don't know. But yeah, so it's a wig, but I do have purple hair. I just like to wear it because it makes my face look better in words, pictures, moving pictures, video, yeah. So, with that being said, this is also not a drama commentary channel. I'm not trying to go after? I'm not trying to go after anybody. I just want to bring my personal opinions because I have my own knowledge and experience in certain things. And so maybe you guys would like to hear it. I also really like watching compilations of this type of video myself because if I'm interested in the content, but I don't personally go out and look for it, then, I need someone else to say, hey, this is actually happening in the news. So that's what I'm trying to be. And I'm going to be focusing on the entertainment industry, video games, voice acting, a little bit animation. But it's not completely going to be like, oh, a new anime or cartoon series came out. Not really going to be like that unless like I have a personal touch with it or, unless this can always evolve. This is the first episode, which really sucks right now. Sorry. I just always feel like I need an intro of like, what the hell am I doing? Can I say anymore? I'm going to beat that out just in case. So yeah, so this is me filling you in on things. So it's going to be hopefully relevant stuff that I found through the course of the week, and then I record this on the weekend and it posts on Monday, and there you go. I'm going to try to post weekly, and I'm going to try to have relevant information. Sometimes I might only hear about something a few months down the line. Sometimes I'm only comfortable talking about something a few months down the line. And so we're just going to wing it and try. So this is one that I definitely want engagement on. So if you could please comment down below of just, what do you want me to talk about? Am I selecting the right stuff that you guys care about? Because again, I love cosplay. I wish I could go back to crafting on this channel, but I just right now cannot do that. And so this is about my speed currently. But I can talk about anything you want me to. It's kind of my job. I get paid to talk. So what do you want me to talk about? Usually it's with a script, but I can improv. I can wing it. I'm a trooper. So anyway, let's just get into it. Oh, wow. I didn't say jump into it. Fell Harbor hates that. Let's just jump into it. Let's start the actual content of this video. All right, so what I'm going to do is credit everything that I find in the description down below, but I'm not going to say it. I don't think I physically have to, since I am redistributing this, that it's fair use and everything, but I am going to give credit to, the articles and stuff that I'm reading. But let me know if that is a faux pas now, and if I should be saying this was written by this person at this time. Like, do I need to put Harvard quotation citations? Let me know if that's a problem, because I really do like respecting artists. But this is entertainment. So, Metal Gear Rising voice actor Quentin Flynn claims announcements in the coming weeks. So, Quentin Flynn voices a lot of people, like Axel in Kingdom Hearts, but he also does Raiden from the Metal Gear Solid series, which, if you know me, I'm obsessed with. I also really love Raiden. I could get into that conversation if you would like me to. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. So, I grew up on video games. Literally, a video game system was in our house before I was born, or right at the time I was born, I was always like Tails in the Sonic and Tails, on Sega, which, yeah, you don't really play as him except for occasionally when Sonic needs help flying somewhere. So mostly I was just holding a controller. So yeah, I grew up on it. But I didn't really play hardcore games until I was in college. My dad bought Metal Gear Solid 2 for my sister, Fell Harbor. She was going to get rid of it because she didn't really like that kind of game. And so I was like, well, before you sell it to GameStop for literally $2, we checked it and we took it home. I was like, let me just try it. Yeah, that turned out to me playing the entire thing for the entire weekend. I only stopped to pee and eat, and I only ate because Fell Harbor was my roommate and she reminded me to eat. I was obsessed, and I really, really loved. I know it's so funny because when Metal Gear 2 actually came out, people who had already played the first one were really pissed off that you were playing as Raiden. But Hideo Kojima wanted you to play to actually see Solid Snake through someone else's eyes, to see how amazing he was. Well, so everyone hated that. I loved it because Raiden was like, what's going on? What the hell am I doing? He was kind of like a whiny ass bitch, and that's why people hated him. But that's why I loved him, because I was the whiny ass bitch. I related to this guy. So, so he helped me learn that it's okay to hold a gun in a video game. And through that, I have been obsessed with stealth and action RPGs. So I credit Metal Gear Solid 2 and specifically Raiden to my love of stealth, because without his help, I would have been too scared to do it, So there's that. I know it's a hot take, isn't it? It's a controversial take. Now people like him because he's a friggin' cyborg, and oh my gosh, talk about rabbit holes. I went down a rabbit hole with that. Yes, literally. Hole? Innuendo? I've been there. I've had that conversation on message boards. Would you like a video on that? That would definitely be demonetized, but I'll talk about that with you if you want me to. I'm an open book. But anyway, it's not my book to open, so what do I care? Back to the news. This is going to go well, isn't it? Yeah, so he has teased that there's another game coming out. And I know, so to catch you up, right, Hideo Kojima birthed a video game in Konami's womb. That's disgusting. They collaborated, right? Hideo Kojima-san worked with Konami at Konami. They made a lot of Metal Gear Solid games. The fifth game one came around, Phantom Pain, and Kojima-san was not very happy, and they broke ties. And also, if you ever play Metal Gear Solid 5, you will notice that the gameplay is much more like mission du jour. Like, you know, I keep saying that. I don't even know how to pronounce it right, and I keep saying it that way. But, like, it's mission after mission, right? Like, it's repetitive in a weird way. The story is missing. Well, that is because Hideo left maybe in the middle of it. I don't know. Probably closer towards the end. I think they had most of the stuff, but that's why, like, there's 52 missions, and I think there was something about that, the 52 missions. I just remember something. I can't remember what the fact was, but there's something about that number. And they also went way over budget. So it's essentially an unfinished game. So when it feels unfinished, and maybe that's the reason why I didn't finish it, yeah. I did play it. Believe me, I played it. But, yeah. So, anyways, so when he left, Konami kept the rights to Metal Gear Solid. And what did they do? They made the Pachinko? Oh, I loved Plashenko. Oh, I'm such a ice skating fan. That is a weird way to go. But yeah, so they just, like, totally crapped out on the series. And, like, you know, it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, I love Metal Gear Solid. I will play anything with the label on it. I almost was going to play Snake's Revenge, which isn't even an actual sequel of Metal Gear. It was an American-made one, and you can tell because it does not play like a Metal Gear game, so no, I've never played it. I thought I owned it because I own everything. I own literally everything multiple times over and over of Metal Gear Solid. I collect everything, but I don't have that game, and I thought I did, so now I have to buy it, but I'm not going to play it, you know. Like the Metal Gear Acid, I have those for the PSP. I never played them because I don't like card games, but I bought them because it has Metal Gear on it. So same here, right? Would I buy a Pachinko machine, pinball machine with Metal Gear on there? Yeah, if the cabinets weren't like $6,000, you bet I would buy that. Do I support it and do I think it's stupid? Well, the game itself is probably fine. You know, I don't have no problems against that, but you know, I'm angry at Konami, but I'm still going to buy it because you put a Metal Gear Solid stamp on it. Like, I'm sorry. But I do have faith. You know, I do love Kojima, like his artistry. And I love that he feels like video games are just a different medium for, you know, so it's more interactive than a movie, but it's you treat it the same way. It's the storytelling, like, his vision, you know, he is a genius in that way. You might think he's crazy, but the best aren't they? And I just love, because that's how I feel about voice acting. And a lot of people are like, oh, but that's for children. You know, video games themselves, that's for children. And it's not. And I've already been on that tangent before. And Hideo, he expresses it so beautifully. And so I want to be, like, supportive of him. But I love you know, it's like a divorce, you know? It's like, yeah, I want to live with mom, but can I go visit dad sometimes? You know what I mean? So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I going, I mean, I'm just straight up yes. Yes. If they come out with another Metal Gear Solid game, I am getting it. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when, because I don't have, like, a PS5 right now. So I'm sorry. I don't know what you would call me. I'm not a fake fan. I'm too much of a fan. I'm a sheep? I'm a sellout? No, not a sellout. I don't know. Let me know. Are you guys excited? I am excited. I even played Metal Gear Rising, which I actually really like CQC and stuff like that. That style of gameplay isn't really what I do because I do love stealth, but because Raiden taught me how to, you know, just try different games, I wasn't scared to try that with him, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a little bit sad thinking like he was a little bit retconned because I thought he was finally out in Metal Gear 4, you know, where like he was back with Rose and Jack. Sorry for spoilers, but it's been out long enough, hun. And then he went back into it, but he wasn't emo about it. So I guess he just kind of accepted it. I don't know. That did always kind of pull me a weird way. But it had the Metal Gear Solid stamp on it, so what am I going to do? I feel like I talked way too long on that. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this stuff because I actually really do care about it. So this video is going to be like an hour long. I don't know. We'll see. So this other one. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this isn't a long one. I just wanted to say I thought it was really interesting that the Dead Space Remake is actually going to be using the models of, like, the voice actors are going to be modeled so that the characters look like the voice actors. So I thought that was really cool because obviously, you know, it's like merging the different technologies and stuff. I know they already do that. I know. Mocap is a thing. It has been a thing. But I think it's really interesting that, like, they cast the characters and then they, you know what I mean? Because, like, some people, like, they don't necessarily look like the characters. They're just using their motion, you know, whatever, to help with the animation. Like, they used to do that with drawing too. Like, if you've ever seen the old, like, Disney stuff, like Alice in Wonderland, I would have watched that. Did you see that girl? I don't know if she's a young woman or if she was, like, a minor, but they had her model, like, when she was crying and, like, looking at the door and, like, you know, whatever. Like, her movements, they were like, wow, girl, you should teach a class on that. That was art. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool that they are now, you know, it's kind of morphing. What is a voice actor? What is a face actor? You know, well, that's what I call them. I don't know. The cinema, TV, camera actor. I think they're called camera actor, but I call them face actors because you see their face. I don't know, whatever. You know, that it's kind of like, yeah, that, like, this video game isn't a real person, but nowadays they're edited so they almost look like a real person. So at what point does the voice actor no longer be a voice actor if you're doing the physicality, which you're already doing the physicality in the booth? You're just being recorded. I personally think that would be so fun. And, like, just as a fan, like, I don't even need to be paid for it. I would love to be cast in something like that because I would love the experience of that. Like, that would be amazing to go through. They should make, like, you know, like, not an escape room, but, like, you know, one of those experience rooms where you're like, ooh, behind the scenes of, like, how to be a pirate, you know. Like, they should make those things. Be like, oh, get yourself mocapped. Mocapped? Motion capture. Yeah, mocap. Do they already make that? Let me know if they already make that. I want to do that. Let's do that. I also kind of want to go to those, like, jumping places where the whole room is one big trampoline, but I'm actually scared of trampolines because I met a lawyer who was really adamant about trampolines because people, like, really ruin their lives on them. So he kind of talked me out of ever getting on one, but I still think it'd be fun. But I've seen kids like, wow, oh my gosh, that's not funny, but it's kind of funny. Or like a little kid and then, like, a person jumps and they go, wow, like, it's a little funny, only if they didn't get hurt. Okay, the 10 most anticipated horror games that you need to know about. I'm not going to go into detail about any of them so that I can keep this nice and not short, but whatever. And I don't know anything about these because I don't play horror games. I would play horror games on my gaming channel if people want to watch that because I get really scared. But nowadays, I used to be a screamer. You would come around the corner, I would scream my head off, and I still kind of do. But nowadays, I get angry scared. It's a really weird phenomenon. I get angry scared. So it's kind of weird. I've been told that I'm entertaining when I play games and I get scared now because I am also angry. But those would need to be heavily censored, I guess, because now that we can't curse on the internet anymore. All right. Coming in at, I don't know if this is the countdown or count up. I don't like putting in, you know, because, hey, you be excited for what you want to be excited for. Okay, sweetheart? The Outlast Trials, Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, we just talked about that one, Alone in the Dark, Routine, Silent Hill Ascension, Fatal Frame, Mask of the Lunar Eclipse, Resident Evil 4. Well, how did I get 9? Because when I'm recounting it, that's only 8. And they said it was 10. Somebody doesn't know how to do basic math, and that is concerning. But there you go. Are you excited for any of those? I know some of them, but I've played Resident Evil. I was going to play Silent Hill, but never did. I've heard of Dead Space. I've heard of Alone in the Dark, but I thought that already came out. So maybe it was did a game just Alone come out at some point? I don't know. Fatal Frame. I've heard of Fatal Frame. I just never played any of this stuff. I also know that, like, Phantom whatever is, like, so fun and so hot right now. But I probably would pee my pants, so I'm not going to try that. Just another note. I was just interested. Troy Baker, the original voice actor for The Last of Us, which I also feel like was kind of a motion capture. Wasn't that? Troy Baker has done a lot of stuff like that. Watch my other series, Name That. I keep wanting to say Name That series. It's Name That Voice. He is going to be an episode in season 2, so we got to get through season 1 first. But anyway, he is actually really excited to see someone else play Joel, which should be accurate, should be that way. Like, I know me personally, even the dinky characters I've done, which I don't mean the characters themselves are dinky, but like the projects I've done have been like one-offs and stuff like that, but I get attached to them. So I'd love to continue playing those characters because I feel like, you kind of birth them through your creativity. You help them come to life, So I can't imagine something as intricate as The Last of Us, how, playing that. But, at the same time, like, this is a different version. And so it's great that he actually is supportive of it. And it's been a fantastic series. Right now, as of this, only 2 episodes have been out. I think episode 3 should be coming out tomorrow. I think they come out on Sundays. I can't remember. Because I was a week late jumping into it, so I got to watch 2 episodes back to back, but now I have to wait like the rest of us. So, The Last of Us and the rest of us. All right, the last 2 things I wanted to talk about, and I'll throw in a third one. They're kind of serious, so they're a little bit of downers or whatever. First one I just wanted to touch on is Bayonetta 3 and that controversy with the voice actress Hellena Taylor. Basically, I'm touching on it to say that I'm purposefully not touching on it. To be completely transparent, it's because I'm trying to get into video games and animation, and so I'm scared if I actually said my personal opinion on the matter that I could, somehow blacklist myself or make enemies somewhere. However, I can say on a broad stroke, all of my coaches, even in just theater, or not even voice acting, I have always been given the guidance to get into the entertainment industry because of your passion, not because of the paycheck. Can you get loaded buco bucks, become a millionaire, whatever? Yeah, but it's 2% or 0.2% or 0.02% of actors, and now I'm talking about face camera actors, become those household names. The people that you're like, wow, you're really famous, and you can say, Will Smith, Tom Hanks. That's only like 0.2% of the actors out there that you know of. I think it's about between 13 and 20% of people who try to become an actor can actually be really well-off, successful actors that put away for retirement really early on. Everyone else is paid basically around the same as a normal, person that, you can make $80,000 a year. So that's pretty good. I think 75 is usually the cutoff. I know with Forbes and stuff like that, they say that's where your happiness level is at 75,000. So if you reach that, if you get any more money, your happiness doesn't go up. But if you're poorer than that, you can be happier at more money. So money does indeed bring happiness. But anyway, that's all my point was there. No, but kind of what I was talking about referring to with Joel, Troy Baker's character Joel in The Last of Us. There is a lot of heart and kind of loyalty or dedication to a character that I think a lot of people just assume will come, but that's not always the case. I do firmly believe that you should stand up for what you believe you should be paid, but sometimes you also need to look at the team as a whole and see what's best for the production. Sometimes in an office job, you gotta file the paperwork, even though you're the manager. That paperwork needs to be filed, and the assistant is out sick with the flu. You gotta step up and do that job. Is it your job? No, but you gotta do it because it's best for your company. So that's my personal opinion, without getting into detail. That's just my work ethic. That some things are worth more than the monetary benefit. But each person goes into their life and their life journey with different dreams and aspirations and priorities. And so my priority might not be someone else's priority. That's all I can say on that. So I think you can read between the lines. But what I'm saying, if it were me, can I do that? If it were me, I would have done it. I would have voiced her. I would have kept the character, pretty much at any cost. That's what I'll say there. All right. The second thing I will talk about is not voice acting, but it is in the entertainment industry. Just that Alec Baldwin is charged with involuntary manslaughter from Rust. And I'm going to link, I love Crime Weekly. And they did a really great, without kind of any kind of speculation or touting things just for the gossip. They really do focus in on the facts that are presented to us and what we know publicly right now. And so Derek Levasseur is a retired police officer, and Stephanie Harlow is just a wonder. I love her. So they both talk about it in more detail. Essentially, I agree with them. I think there were safety precautions that were not taken place. And as the leader of the tribe, he needs to have some kind of accountability. Also, despite what he is alleging, there is another allegation that he is the one who actually pulled the trigger. He said he didn't pull the trigger. I believe it is fact now that it's proven that it was allegedly. I'll say that because I'm not trying to whatever. His leadership directly caused the death of a person and an injury of a second person. So that needs some accountability. And I think we also, as a society, money should not stop you from being held to the standards of the rest of society. You know, if you made a mistake, you gotta do something, you know. So I think it's good that he's being charged. Also because of just from what I've seen, he has not, I know he needs to protect himself legally, so he can't really say certain things. I understand that. But his behavior and his treatment of this situation has not been sincere. And so that also is, he's not taking any accountability. And again, you know, you're always told, hey, don't say sorry because it's an admission of fault. But I don't know, there's still a humanity there that I think we need to counter in, you know? So that's my take on that. No, he didn't, you know, it shouldn't be murder. He didn't intentionally try to kill her. And I also, I've heard actually several different things. I have actually heard what Derek Levasseur said in this, although Stephanie said she's heard other, you know, working actors say opposite, where there are safety regulations in place where you are not supposed to touch it. Like, you're supposed to know everybody's hands who have been on that weapon, that fake weapon. And I don't know. There are way too many accidental deaths with guns, and gun safety in the whole world, I feel needs to be more regulated. You know, treat every gun as if it were loaded and never aim it at a person. You don't point your water gun at someone's face. You don't. Because you have to instill that respect. I don't know, like BB guns and so you could take someone's eye out still. Like, yes, you might not die from it, but it's just do not aim a gun at a person unless you are willing to accept the responsibility of their injury or death. So that's my take on it. And then Justin Roiland was officially cut ties with Rick and Morty due to his allegations of domestic violence. And I think he's had other issues as well. I won't get into that because, again, I'm not like a deep diving. I like that. I'm not trying to cause drama. So he is the creator of Rick and Morty, which is super popular. Full disclosure, I watched the first full season, first season, because someone had a box set of it and they wanted me to watch it. I did not enjoy it. Just not, my humor is vastly wide, I would say. But it just didn't click with me. Maybe it was just that time, in my life was just not clicking with me because that was like when it first came out. It was new. But I haven't watched it since. So apparently, so he was original creator and he had been writing for it. Eventually, at some point, he actually dropped out writing it before this, and he was just the voice of both Rick and Morty. Now he has been dropped. So a lot of people are like, at first they were freaking out because it's like, well, the show was funny, but no, he hasn't been the writer for a while. So unless you felt that the series suddenly is not funny anymore, then you've already lost him as the writer. So he was just the voice. So I'm in a few voice acting communities, and they're like, oh, get your Rick and Morty impressions nice and shined up for an audition that's sure to come out. Yeah, so that's kind of going around. It's a little bit humorous, like people are kind of laughing at it, and it is, as again kind of trying to think of it from the other side. It really, because it's still right now allegations, so innocent until proven guilty. However, I believe he is also one of those where there have been like video evidence proof, so it's pretty sure. So sometimes I do feel like companies kind of cut ties a little too soon just because it's hot in the news. But also, I do think it's good that they stand their ground and have, again, especially if, there's going to be a prison sentence at any point, not for him, but just in anybody, whatever, in general speaking terms, you need to, again, replace so that the production can keep on going. Kind of similar with the Bayonetta, like, fine, if that voice isn't there, you can just replace him. And just like in any job, you are replaceable. Voice of Mickey Mouse is replaceable, so... that's whatever. So the official thing is Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talent and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. And then also he apparently is the founder of the video game development studio Squanch Games, which I did not know. I don't know of any games that they've come out with. I didn't do any extra research. Let me know down below if there's a game that you love that they have made. I've not heard of Squanch. Sounds like a word I would have made up. Squant. That's my word, squant. But anyway, their official statement is, on January 16th, 2023, Squanch Games received Justin Roiland's resignation, reads the statement on Squanch Games' website posted on Tuesday. The passionate team at Squanch will keep developing games we know our fans will love while continuing to support and improve High on Life. Roiland could not immediately be reached for comment, so I guess he's not releasing anything publicly. It sounds like he went ahead and released himself from Squanch Games. Forced resignation, or was it voluntary? Not sure. I'm not going to gossip. I don't know. But that's all I have for you. So some of those were a little bit heavier hitters. So I'm just kind of running the gambit. I personally like more happy, uplifting news, but that doesn't sell magazines, as they say. Newspapers. So most of the time it's going to be depressing stuff or scandalous stuff, which is always fun to talk about, except for when I feel uncomfortable talking about it because I don't want to affect my own career. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. But yeah, that will do it. So let me know if you liked this. Right now, the raw footage is 38 minutes. So this might have been a full feature video. So I thought this was going to be a 10 to 15 minute video. So we'll see. I'll cut it down. Let's see what the final end is. And if you think it's fun, or you think I ended up talking too much, I kind of think that's the point, is putting in my perspective. Otherwise, you could just read these articles yourselves. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you like this, if you want more about one specific thing, like should I just stick to voice acting? Should I just stick to video games? That kind of stuff. But otherwise, yes, remember that you are loved, you are worthy, and whatever you are struggling with today will pass. Until next time, stay crazy.